Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for this next album review. And sorry, this is my cat Titan right here. He's just doing his thing, his catly thing. So, this is for another Marathon Studio album review for the sixth Judas Priest record, British Steel, that I got a chance to listen to for this 1980 album. And I wanted to check out for myself, see what I was going to let you know what my thoughts were on this 9-track record. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for British Steel by Judas Priest and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this album review tonight. Now, this is premiering at midnight, just so you know. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Breaking the Law is the first track on the record. Pretty strong track. I really enjoyed this one. Rob Halford sounded pretty good singing in this track. And the fast-paced, just thrash metal to this track sounded pretty solid. So I'm really digging this tempo, fast-paced melody to it with the drum work and guitar work. So it definitely rocks for sure. 5 out of 5. Then you get Rapid Fire, which is another one of my favorite songs. Really enjoyed this one. A 5 out of 5 for sure. I really like how Rob Halford's singing the track. And execution-wise, this track did very good. So, for the execution overall and the pacing of the song was pretty strong. Metal Gods is a 5 out of 5 for sure, too. I really enjoyed how Rob Halford was singing this from time to time, and just the way the mixing and production was on this track was very solid and really strong. So another personal favorite track I enjoyed from this record, 5 out of 5, like I said. Grinder is another strong track too. I enjoyed it for how it sounded. It definitely was a very underrated track, but very appreciative of a song that I really enjoyed. And I just enjoyed how well structured this track was with the singing from Rob Halford, and overall, just the execution of this track did very well with the drumming and guitar work, so 5 out of 5. United is probably my least favorite song. I didn't necessarily hate this track, but it sounded solid. It's going to get a 4.75 out of 5. It's a pretty good song, but it does rely on the chorus a bit too much. That's the only thing. It's a little mainstream, but it's not terrible in any way. It's just the pros and the cons are kind of like it's a mixed kind of track, but it's not terrible. It's still a strong track, but I have my critiques with this one. 4.75 out of 5. Living After Midnight is one of my favorite tracks for Judas Priest, and I know Disturbed did a cover of this track for the Lost Children release on their 2011 compilation record of sorts, or B-sides of songs that they never got a chance to release until they wanted to do a B-sides album. But overall, Living After Midnight was strong. Rob Halford sounded really good vocally in this one. And just the drumming and guitar work followed along with the melody, so really enjoyed this. 5 out of 5. You Don't Have to Be Too Old to Be Wise is another strong track. I personally dug this one. It's a 5 out of 5 too. It is 5 minutes and 3 seconds, but you're in for quite a banger. So, definitely a favorite track. It rocks for sure. So, 5 out of 5. The Rage is another one that I can get on board with. I really enjoyed this one too. The way Rob Halford's singing it sounds really strong, and his long, prolonged vocal range that he can hit with his, like, longest note that he's singing. Sounds really good with how he prolongs that singing vocals. It does very well. And just overall, the guitar work and drum work sounded pretty strong in this. 5 out of 5. And finally, we get to the closing track, Steeler. Steeler is how I'm pronouncing it, Steeler. But it's sounding like a Steeler, but no, it's not what you think I'm pronouncing. But to get back on track, this track definitely rocked. I really enjoyed the closing track to this record. Just overall, Rob Halford sounded really strong with his vocals, and execution-wise, this track did very well for the guitar work and drum work, and it just amazed me with how well structured it sounded. So, 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Judas Priest's British Steel album is probably one of my favorites in their discography. Very strong record. Definitely an excellent record. It's not like something I'm going to give like 10 out of 10, but it is strong. Very strong. And it's something I'll be returning to quite a lot, for sure. It's something I'll remember and return to as many times as I want to. But if I were to give Judas Priest's British Steel album a score, sorry I slurred for a second, I'm going to give it a strong 9.5 out of 10. It's a very strong record. I really enjoyed this one. Had quite a bit of personal favorite tracks on this album, except for United. That one was solid, but not one of my favorites. It just was the least favorite. But everything else sounded very good. I was really amazed with Rob Halford singing and just the way they came off in this record with their thrash metal sound. Did very well. Their fast-paced, rock, heavy metal kind of stuff they're trying to go for. But it did pretty well for how it was going. So, 9.5 out of 10 for Judas Priest's British Steel, the 1980 album. I hope you enjoyed this album review tonight, and thank you guys for watching.